Welcome everybody. I'm going to give my computer a second here to boot up and make sure that I can see. There we go. My sound guy says I got sound. And there we go. I got everybody. I got comments. I can see what's going on. So we'll give a few minutes for the audience to build like we always do. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's staying safe. Getting ready for the big election. All kinds of stuff going on, huh? Hey, Sonny, how you doing, bud? So, let's see. Last week, geez, I forgot what we talked about last week. My mind's drawing a blank now. I should have wrote it down, and I didn't. Oh yeah, we did a gun cleaning. We cleaned my 350. So we went through cleaning and disassembly of the AR, mild disassembly, not a full strip down. We did a basic field strip and a cleaning. Gave you a few pointers on how to check for some stuff on your gun, how to check to make sure your gas rings on your gas tube or on your bolt carrier group were good, and different things like that. Yeah, cleaning. Thanks. Sonny remembered. So if you missed that show, they pop up on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. After, I don't know, 7 or 10 days, they get posted. And then you can always go down in the feed here in BYOAR and find last week's show. So be sure and check those out. If you like our shows, share them, like them, check them out on YouTube. Invite your friends to the group if you got like-minded friends that want to see some of this stuff, want to learn how to build an AR, want to learn how to maintain them. You know, there's a bunch of new people getting into this sport all the time. We have millions of brand new gun owners out there who have bought their first AR in the last few months, and it's our job to take them under our wing and teach them. You know, we didn't know all this stuff when we first started. You know, we all had to learn it, and nothing is worse than going onto a site, a Facebook site, a forum somewhere, and asking questions as a newbie and having somebody disparage you or degrade you because you don't know something, you know. Like, they didn't know that stuff at one time either. And we all learned it somewhere, whether it was our dad, our grandpas, our uncles, or we learned it on our own through trial and error. YouTube videos, just different things. We all did not know this stuff at one time. So don't ever disparage the new guy. Build them up, teach them, let them know what you know so they can pass it on to the next guy. That's what it's all about. So this week, real quick, the deal on our BYOAR.com site, $10 off the parametric trigger. We got our little parametric drop-in trigger, 3.5 to 4 pound. I go back to my little fidget spinner. It's like my fidget spinner for gun guys. We can just sit here and do this all day long, right? But $10 off parametric trigger this week, and free shipping on that as well because it cracks the $125 threshold. Even with with $10 off, it doesn't quite crack the $125 threshold. But if you want a trigger at the $10 off, it's still a great deal, $119.75, I believe. So easily the single best upgrade you can do for accuracy is a drop-in trigger. Get rid of that creep and get rid of that long trigger pull and get rid of that jerking and flinching that happens with a drop-in trigger or with a standard Mil-Spec trigger. So get you one. Okay, so this week we're talking a little bit about buttstocks, upgrading a buttstock, what to look for, what you like, what you don't like. So this is a Mil-Spec. Oh yeah, Jimmy, my cousin, he got the adjustable gas block. It was funny. You ordered that last week, and the name came in James Wiggins, and the the girl in the office processing the order, she's like, did you move? Do you live in Chardon now? So I said, no, that's my cousin. We got the same name. So let us know how that works out for you. You putting that on your 450, Jimmy? I'm assuming. So we're talking about buttstocks. This is what is known as a Mil-Spec Buttstock, right? This is standard, kind of comes on just about every AR, every lower tier AR, every production AR, most of your production companies that make ARs, your standard, this is what it's going to come with. I don't much care for them. They look okay. The back here is very hard. There's no padding whatsoever. Not that a 223 has a ton of recoil. It doesn't blast your shoulder, but you know, I just don't like them. And the thing I hate the most about these things is that here, that just drives me insane, right? They're so loose fitting, and I realize why they do it. You know, they're Mil-Spec, and they got to be interchangeable, and they got to fit, and they got to function, and they got to do their thing in all kinds of combat situations, whatever it might be. But that whole thing drives me nuts, right? So the easiest thing I've found to do, and I'll have my camera, I'll move in here. You'll see right here, okay, you'll see a little screw there, and on the other side you're going to see a little screw there. So what I've done is I take an 1/8 inch drill. I take this thing off, okay, and I drill an 1/8 inch hole right there and right there. You need me to come up a little bit? Okay. I drill an 1/8 inch hole right there and right there on either side. And then I take a little 632 set screw. And you don't even have to tap this because it's plastic, right? With an 1/8 inch set screw and a 632 screw, you can just get this thing started and force thread it into the plastic. Okay? Then, once you've got a screw on both sides, you put this thing where you want it, and you lightly snug those little set screws down. And guess what? No more buttstock wobble, no more rattle. Now, when you're used to being able to just slide this thing, you got to remember that now you've got set screws there, and you're going to want to keep an Allen wrench on you, because if you grab this and yank it, you're going to scratch the heck out of your anodizing on your buffer tube. So anytime you want to take the stock down or up, you have to make sure you undo your set screws, and then you can adjust. Okay? I like a stock all the way out. I always have. It's the most comfortable for me. I know some guys like to get their nose right up on the charging handle. I like a fully extended stock. Always have. So I just set them when I do this. And the only reason I would take it down is if somebody else was going to shoot my gun that was a smaller frame, maybe had shorter arms, something like that. And then you got no more buttstock wobble. Really nice. So you want to do an upgrade. You want to get rid of this thing and you want to put a different stock on. You want to get a little more style. So there's a bunch of different things, a bunch of different stocks out there. There's tons of them. The Hogue over mold is a good one. Hi, Corey. When you're going to get one, if you're going to buy just the stock, you got to make sure you get the right, that you know what buffer tube you have. If you have a Mil-Spec buffer tube or a commercial buffer tube, they're different diameters, and this may not necessarily fit. You may not be able to transfer parts because of the diameter, and you'll know, right? See this slope back? That's a commercial buffer tube. Am I saying that right? The slope back is the commercial buffer tube, and You know what? Now I got to check myself before I give you bad information. Let me look this up real quick and make sure that I'm giving you the right information. Yes, the commercial buffer tube has a slanted back, and the Mil-Spec version has a flat back. Okay, so you can see this has a slight angle to it. Okay, and that is a commercial buffer tube, and that's actually probably why this is so loose on there, because it's a commercial buffer tube with a Mil-Spec stock. So they're not always that loose, but that's probably why that one's that loose. And they also have a different diameter here. It's 1 inch 148 versus 1 inch 168. So the commercial is bigger. Yes, the commercial is bigger than the Mil-Spec. So you got to watch. You can't always just change your buttstock. They may not fit unless you get the right buttstock that fits commercial or Mil-Spec buffer tube. So make sure that if you're going to buy upgrade kit and you're not sure, make sure you know what you have, and or just buy the whole kit with a new buffer tube. There's a bunch of different stocks. This is my 350 that I go back to a lot. This is the Mission First Tactical Minimalist stock. It's nice. It's got a little rubber pad on the back. It's very minimal. You know, there's very minimal stuff going on here. Very lightweight, and it fits very well. There's very little buttstock wobble. You know, you don't hear that thing rattling around, so I haven't had to pin this one. And it fits nice in the shoulder. Some guys, but I know Russ has got a nice one. It's got that tactical paracord that goes from here to here. And, you know, paracord always comes in nice when you need it. You know, this is, I don't know, I think this was about $50 or something, $40, $50 from Mission First Tactical for that buttstock. And I really like it just because there's not much to it, and it's lightweight, and that's what I was looking for when I built this gun, was lightweight. And, you know, if you're getting into some competition shooting, some long-range stuff, Luth AR, and we're going to do an install here on this in a little bit. You know, this is a fully adjustable. It gives you more pull. It gives you cheek rise, and you can adjust both of those in or out wherever you need them. You know, this is a real nice buttstock. The buffer tube and the stock together, I want to say it was like $135, somewhere in that ballpark. Obviously, with your pistols, you can't put a standard buttstock. You know, you got to use these braces. This is a Shockwave blade. SB makes some nice blade, you know, blades that have the rubber padding on the back of them, since you're allowed to shoulder your gun situationally, incidentally, or occasionally, as the ATF says. So, you know, they've come a long way with these blades. There's a lot of good technology there. And the nice thing about them is most of them have a set screw that locks them in place, so you don't get any wobble at all with these, the way they lock in. All right, so, you know, and there's some other nice minimalists out there. Double Star makes a real nice, it's just a tube with a rubber or the foam padded buffer tube and a slanted back. Real lightweight. Those are real nice. They're about $120, I think. So, you know, you try some of your buddies' guns, see what you like, what you don't like. I like a little bit of padding, even though the 223 doesn't kick much. You know, if you're out on a hot summer day, you're wearing a t-shirt, this thing, you know, with this serrated back is going to chew you up a little bit, and it just gets uncomfortable and not very stylish. So we're going to do a quick install, and I'm going to show you how to change out. So, right, this gun is empty. And what we're going to do is bust the two halves. I've already removed the stock itself, and yet it's real simple to do with these, right? You saw me, you put that on there. You just pull this completely down and it slides off. And that's how you install it too. Pull it down, slide it on, and then it's clicked in. Okay, so the first thing we got to do to get all this off of here is release the castle nut. Can you see me? Everybody can see me good? Okay, yeah, I'm looking up there. Okay. Now the staking was kind of minimal on that one, so it's not a big deal. Some of them take a little more to break them loose. You might have to put them in a regular block and a vise. This isn't the sturdiest thing. So when you're undoing this, you'll notice there's a spring back there, right? Your takedown pin spring is back there. So you don't want to destroy that. You don't want to bend that. You got to be careful of that. So I'm going to take my punch and I'm going to depress the buffer detent. And I'm going to pull the spring and buffer out. Set that off to the side. Now I've got everything loose here. If I start unscrewing this, okay, and I'm not careful, what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch that pin and that spring out of there. So I just kind of put my finger over it and I start to unscrew this. And then once I'm free and clear of it, I pull the spring and the buffer out and set it off to the side. And that's how easy it is to remove the old equipment. Okay. So the first thing we're going to start with is the Luth buffer tube. One piece. Okay, we're going to screw that in till it comes almost to the buffer detent pocket. We're going to put that in, push it down, and then we're going to tighten that up. Okay. So I've already taken the rubber pad off the back of this. 2 little screws, little Allen wrench, just pops that right off. And this gives me access to the mounting screw here. So with this, typically you end up pushing this spring in and this detent with the back with this plate. So you no longer have a plate with this setup. And what it does is the whole unit just depresses and holds that spring in place. So now I'm going to grab this screw. I'm going to get it started while I'm holding this in place so it doesn't pop out and I don't lose my spring. Okay. Then I can pop my plate back, my butt plate on. And then I take these 2 little screws. There it is. I knew I had it here somewhere. Okay, I'm bleeding. Now I'm going to go ahead, put the spring and buffer for this unit in. Typically your trigger's in the way a little bit with these long units, so you got to push your hammer down out of the way, and then there you go. Oop, I missed it. Check everything for function. And there you have it. And again, like I said, this is really nice stock because you can get a couple extra inches of pull out of it. You can get some cheek rise out of it. So you get a nice cheek weld. You can set that wherever you want. And then these Luths come with their own Allen wrench. Okay, there's a little Allen wrench built in right there. And that's for these little screws. So you can undo these screws and you can move this cheek piece, the cheek rise back and forth. You can move the pull indexer in and out. So there's all kinds of adjustability with this thing. Now when you're done, you put the Allen wrench back in, it snaps in place, and it's always right there with you. And it's got some sling attachment points. They got some inserts you can buy to press in here and give you some, they bolt in from one side or the other, and kind of ambidextrous, so you can hang a sling, hang this thing from a sling. You can put a 2-point sling or a single point sling, whatever you want on there. So that's how easy it is to upgrade your buttstock. And get some adjustability out of it. And again, you know, this is just going to be a more accurate system, right? Anytime you can get a more consistent field of view, get your cheek weld good, you know, you're going to improve your accuracy. And again, you know, that's about $135 if you find them on sale. $135 to $150. Real nice setup. So. And then you've got extra parts, right? And you know what they say about extra parts. When you have extra parts, now all of a sudden you got to build another gun. Or you donate them to Russ Jackson over at Marksman for Vets, and he puts them on a build that he's going to donate to a disabled American veteran. Russ hasn't joined us yet today, but I'm sure he'll enjoy the plug. So that's kind of, you know, a quick show today. Not a big fanfare, but it is nice to upgrade your buttstock from these clunky old Mil-Spec things. Give it a little style, give it a little comfort. Always a little bit of padding is always a nice thing. There's another version of this they make too that, in fact, this is adjustable and it slides down, because you'll notice that when you're in your pocket, see how much of this sits up above your shoulder, right? You've got a couple inches, for me anyway, I've got a couple inches sticking up there, and they make a version of this that you can undo a couple more screws in here and slide this thing down so it's hanging down a couple of inches, and that gets you further down into the pocket of your shoulder. Now, see, I have to come way down when I do that, and I don't like that, so that's where I would want to adjust that down a couple of inches to make it more comfortable for me, because getting this down in the pocket of your shoulder is really comfortable, but then I got to lean my head too far down in. So that's, if I was going to buy another one of those, I'd probably buy that one that has the adjustability to drop this back piece down a couple of inches, the actual butt plate. Again, you know, I always tell guys, hey, go to the range with your buddies, shoot what you shoot a couple guns that they have some different stuff on, see what you like, see what you don't like, and upgrade from there. Right? That's what it's all about, having fun with these things, stylizing them, making them your own. So we're always looking for show ideas. If you got an idea, you want us to, you're looking for something, you're looking for an answer to something, you want to see us do something, let us know about it, and we'll get a show together for it. Let me see. We talked about last week about a giveaway. Hi, Caleb. James, yeah. That's the setup you want? You want it? Yeah. I like it. I have two of them now. I have I have another gun at home that has one of these on it. So I have two of these Luth AR systems now. Oh, and I helped my buddy build his 350, and he put one on there too because he's real tall and he's got really long arms and he needed that couple extra inches of pull. So that was one of the things he kind of specified that he wanted. So we talked about doing another giveaway for Halloween. We're going to put that together here in the next week. See what we wanted to have a contest and give something away to you guys. We love giving away stuff. It's always a lot of fun. Don't forget about the deal, right? Our parametric trigger this week is $10 off. Real nice trigger. Competes with anybody in the market out there. Everybody who's used it says they like it. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. So don't forget that. And I think that's all I got there. I think that's all I got this week. Next week's show, I was going to wait and see if maybe a couple suggestions come in. If not, we'll figure out what we're going to do, and it'll be posted on the page. So thanks for joining me. We'll see you all next week. And remember, you don't have to be an expert to build your own AR, to maintain it, or upgrade it. We're here to help you do that. Thanks. We'll see you.